Yo, what's up, man? What's good in the motherfucking hood, man? Back at your ass. Sunday evening. Treeal Talk 101. Live from the 94124. With your guests, me, OG Double Dee, Mack Meech, and the BossHitta Velski.
Motherfucking BossHitta, man.
Hey.
Hey.
Back at y'all.
How y'all doing?
So, today,
first, y'all, man, I just like to thank y'all, man, for y'all giving me the birthday celebration yesterday, man. It was a lovely one, man. Talked to my nigga Ronnie Ryan. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talked to that nigga in months of Sundays. Shout out to my nigga J Mo, Horn, Soda Pop. Nigga, all my niggas, my real niggas showed up. You know what I'm saying? Cousin Kim, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all yesterday, man. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating a nigga birthday and shit. Nigga turned 51. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all. Really appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome, ladies. I see we got some ladies in the building.
Yes, we sure do. So,
how y'all ladies doing?
Hey.
Good. Hello.
Dubs won.
Yeah, damn right. By 22.
Now let's kick LeBron in his ass.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Snoop's on one.
You ladies go ahead and introduce yourselves to the audience, please.
Okay. I'm Angela Marie, host of the AM Hustle and Round Midnight Show from Hunters Point, Kiska Road, comedian, actress, mom, all that good stuff.
Hello. My name is Teresa, and I'm a transplant from San Francisco to Sonoma County, now in Antioch, and unsure where the next location will be, but wherever it is, it'll be fun. Lots of fun.
Long as it's in the Bay.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Nikki. I'm from San Francisco. Lived in a couple areas in the city, including Hunters Point. I moved out to the Pittsburgh, Antioch area, so this is where I'm at right now.
You look pretty, Nick. I say you look pretty, Nick.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get this party started. So today's topic is: can a damaged relationship be repaired and revived? My opinion, I'm gonna just keep it 100. Depends on how it was damaged and why it was damaged. Sometimes, I think you can repair them sometimes, but sometimes there's a little too much collateral damage that neither party can get over, and that's to me, that's like the main denominator in the whole equation is, can the person whose feelings were, I guess, hurt or damaged in the relationship, can they stomach what the offense was to move on? So like I said, it's possible. I mean, I've been in a relationship that has been damaged and repaired, but I was younger, and to be honest with you, a lot of those scars never healed. So it was kind of like really like a waste of time to even try to repair, because every time there was an argument, the shit was thrown up in my face. Well, you did this, you did that. You know what I'm saying? So if those wounds don't heal, then you cannot repair that relationship.
Right. I mean, normally I'd be like, don't resurrect the dead, but if the people involved want to be together and want to make it work, then honesty, compassion, and it takes time to restore a relationship. And it depends on the damage that's been done to it, where it's infidelity. People have to know what their boundaries are. Are you somebody that could forgive somebody that cheats on you? Well, then, you try to make it work. If that's a deal breaker, then you have to leave, because if you stay in a situation where you're holding on to animosity, you can't really heal. So the two people involved have to be willing to work at it and come to a healing place, because it's not one, you don't keep bringing it back up if you've gotten over it. And a lot of people that try to work it out don't need to be together.
Right.
That's just my take on it. But I think it depends on the people. It can be revived if both people want to work on it. If not, yeah.
Well, here's my spin. It depends on the length of the relationship. If it's a true relationship, if it's something very new where you haven't been able to establish what the relationship is, then of course, anything that comes along that it enables you to move from it, then that will not be something that you can repair. Now, if this is a relationship that has had some time placed with it, and you hopefully started out as friends where you could be transparent with that person on how you feel, what you need, what you're looking for, and you set the ground rules in the beginning, and when you hit those areas, you come back and you discuss them. And the main thing, as far as I'm concerned, it needs to be forgiveness. If you genuinely forgive that person for the act, regardless of what the act is, and this is somebody you truly care for and you know the essence of them, then you have to agree to want to go back, work on whatever that is, accept your part in that, and then see if you're able to go forward. I think it's something that's real and true. You can come back from that, even if you started out, let's say 10 years ago, but you really love the essence of that person. Maybe not the way so much, but you get that they don't really, really mean to hurt you, but they in their own stuff and they can't get out their way. Then that's a whole other thing. So the answer of the question, yes, I believe you can resurrect it, but it has to be clear lines.
Okay. Anybody else want to add something to that?
Right. I mean, it really depends what the situation is, like everyone's talking about, and also the relationship. Because if sometimes you might not be in the right relationship, and you just try to make it work because of convenience, or you have kids, you've been together for a while, but maybe you weren't really compatible, but you're just like a loyal person, or you just try to make a relationship that maybe shouldn't be together. But then there's other situations where you do love each other, you both mutually love each other, want to work on the relationship, and you just make a mistake, and it's something that again, there has to be forgiveness and truly mean it, and the other party also has to be willing not to repeat those offenses, because sometimes these things get brought up because it continues to be an issue in the relationship. So that needs to occur as well. But I do believe that it can be built as long as you both genuinely are willing to commit to working through the issue and not repeating it, and can move past with that.
Can I chime in really quick?
Of course.
Also, while you're trying to do that, you have to work on self, because there's got to be a reason why self is having the issue.
Right.
So, you could be committed to reviving it, but self is involved because that's what got in the way.
Right.
Or so that,
Yeah.
a part of it.
I mean, you have to have a sense of self, and you have to know who you are going into the relationship, and know that who you are may change, because different people bring different things out of you, and it's about accepting your growth and the other person accepting your growth. So
Right.
yeah.
And also
go ahead.
No, sometimes you start in relationships and it starts off one way, and you do grow, and what you expect out of a relationship may change, and the person is not willing to change with you too. So it's different as you grow older. You have different goals in your life. So
yeah. Some people just don't have any business being together. It's like, just
that's a factor too, and from my experience, right, personally, it's been times that I feel as though I probably stayed in a relationship probably a year or two too long, much longer than I should have, and that's a thing that a lot of people go through, that I've talked to. They stayed in a relationship, like you said, Nikki, for convenience. or familiarity. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm familiar with this person, I've been with them this long, so we feel as though we owe them some sense of loyalty, whether it's really working out or not. So therefore, you stay, let's say, 2-3 years longer than you should, right? Which is really creating more damage to the situation than repairing it. You know, because I mean, let's just face it. I think we've all probably been in some relationships where we knew damn well we should have bounced 2 years before we did.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
and the shit probably got physical. It probably suffered financial losses and all other type of shit during, you know, because we stayed in this situation longer than we had to because we thought we owed it to that person when really, like you said, Teresa, we gotta look at self. Are you taking care of yourself in this relationship? You know what I'm saying? What is this relationship providing for you? And it's not to be selfish, but if you ain't really getting shit out of it that you expect out of it, why even be in it?
And your relationship's supposed to be like a place of peace because that person you're being, you know, you're sharing your innermost with them. There's an intimacy level. You're not supposed to be giving each other drama and chaos. You guys should be, you know, a team if you're going to be together. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It needs to be a respite, just like home is supposed to be.
Right.
You know, when you come to your home, all that other static needs to stay where it's at. And you have to check yourself when you come through the door on what it is that you're bringing in, because it's all energy. Right. And so one of the things I think is more damaging than anything, someone can be physical with anybody they want to, but it's that verbal sparring. When you say something and you can't retrieve it and it sticks at a place where people can't get it out their crawl, you might as well kiss it goodbye. Because every time that word comes up, that thought comes up, your face comes up, anything that has to do with that, it triggers those emotions and they can't get past it. But then that's working on self to say, hey, I forgive me for letting you or whatever. And so I'm going to let that go because it takes up so much time and energy to even just think about it, let alone it not even be happening right then.
And some people just are accustomed to toxic relationships because they grew up in a toxic environment and they don't know the difference. Not everybody grew up in a split parent home or has an example of a healthy relationship. So their idea of what a relationship is supposed to be is really bad. And the person that they're dealing with, you know, may not have grown up in a 2-parent home or seen a good relationship, but has in their heart, like, this is what I want. I want healthy. And people just get used to being with toxic people, unfortunately. But when you know better, you do better.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
I know a lot of people like, if you don't leave that fool.
Because, you know, like with me, right, I'm the first to say, right, my mama used to say this shit, right? I think it's funny, but it's kind of cold. She said, you're a damn good father, but you're a bad husband.
That's real talk sometimes, you know.
And mom will tell you the truth.
And it goes both ways, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what, though? As I got older, I kind of realized what she was saying and the shit was true. But it's not like I'm a bad person, but I'm one of those dudes though. I'm big on loyalty and respect. And and I hate to say this right now today, but a lot of women ain't cut from that cloth where they even know how to respect a man. Like we were saying in the last episode, right, about what I tell my daughters. If I'm not man enough to lead this relationship, and I don't mean lead like I'm a tyrant and I bark orders and you go where I say, and that ain't what I'm saying. But as the man, because I don't deal with young women, so therefore, most likely I'm the oldest in the relationship or we're almost the same age or something like that. But my experience out here in the world gives me the leeway to lead this relationship because I can see things coming that maybe you can't. You know what I'm saying? I can see danger around the corner that you probably can't smell. You thinking this dude is cool and everything, but he might be trying to set you up for some shit that you ain't even ready for. You know what I'm saying? Because you being friendly and you thinking it's all jolly and it's cool and all that. And, you know, guys out here are treacherous. You know, I don't know, what encounters you ladies have had with dudes, but us as men, we just sat down at a lot of round tables and heard some real atrocious shit come out of dudes' mouth as far as what they plan to do or what they have done with women. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
damn, that's some cold shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, really on some borderline, like, rape, sexual predator type shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and women are easily fooled. Like I said before, it's easy to fool a woman into thinking that you a solid dude, right? Especially when the relationship is new. All you got to do is make sure every time y'all together, you take her around people who embrace you. You know what I'm saying? No one who will speak a bad word about you. So she see you got 10, 15, 20 people that love you. She think you must be a solid guy. But there's 2,000 people that hate your funky ass. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't bringing her around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't bring you on Facebook skinning and grinning and you're taking pictures with everybody and y'all smiling. But the dastardly shit that you've done is covered up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's covered up. So now this woman walking to the blind, you know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, bam, it hits her in the face, you know what I'm saying? Because this dude wearing a grin really was sinister inside.
Right. But that comes with discernment. People have, I mean, that's a God-given gift. You have to know when something is not right. And I encourage every woman, do your research. Like, I won't date a dude unless I can, you know, find out who he comes from, who his family is, you know, what level of crazy, because we all got a little bit crazy in us, but what is your level of crazy, you know? And people have to know when it's too good to be true, it probably is, you know. Nobody's perfect.
But you know, go ahead.
All I was going to say was, when I hear of men speaking of women that way, it's an immediate red flag, because it makes me feel or think that they have mother issues and they haven't resolved it. Mother, aunt, grandmother, some female that dominated them, that they have just lost total respect on women. And so you don't matter, just like the paint on the door matters. So to dog you out is to dog you out, which in their mind, they have done something that's rewardable. But actually, it just really shows how ignorant and unaware of what's really happening within your mind and your body, that you have to do that to a woman. So that leads me to believe a dog, a cat, a rat is also open for free game. You know what I'm saying? So that's an immediate red flag. If he has issues like that, or if he's a narcissist and he got to take 50, 30, 40, 50, again, pictures of himself in one day, that's a problem. That's a problem.
You know, it's like,
that side look like that side, and they keep looking the same each time you turn it. You know? So
it's a lot.
Somebody ain't gonna like
it's
that
like,
comment.
like women with daddy issues. You know, they come up on a man and they need him to touch her and tell her she pretty and
validate
her. You know, this is my woman. Oh, that looks good on you. No, a confident woman knows she got it together, and her man knows that he doesn't have to stroke her 50,000 times. You say, "Oh, that's it right there." Boom. That part, and then it keeps going.
Right.
You know, but that's the dance of male and female.
Yeah.
But see, you know, my thing is though, like a lot of women nowadays, to not take the advice of your partner. I mean, it goes for guys too. Don't get me wrong. But to not take the advice of your partner, because you are in a man-woman relationship. We're gonna speak on that, on a heterosexual relationship. We both got different roles. You know, we are both human beings, Homo sapiens, of course, but we got different roles. You know, a lot of times as a guy, right, we might be focused on something so hard from an aggression standpoint, to where our woman is in the background, she looking at it in another lens that can help us, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa, where you guys are sometimes, you know, a lot of women, they like to look at things with rose-colored glasses. You know, everything is fine and everybody's wonderful, and this is the world, you know, this is the world we living in, and it's not that way. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of real faulty shit going on, you know, and to not take your guy's advice, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, when you know, you're trying to tell them something and they think, well, he's just trying to control me. It ain't about control, because we got to think about this, right? If you in a relationship, and as a woman,
You're
get
good.
hurt by a man,
Stop the camera.
whose job is it to step to your rescue? You know, that's one thing you got to think of in a relationship. If you get caught up in something, right, it's your man's job to come to your rescue. So now, because you wasn't listening to what he was trying to tell you, you didn't see the signs, you didn't avoid the pitfalls and everything. Now he got to expose himself to help you out over something that he saw coming a mile away.
Awesome.
You know?
True.
And that's where a lot of things go wrong, because it's not about control. If somebody knows something, they know something. And it could be your woman that knows something more about a subject than you. It could be your man that knows something more about a subject than you. That's what we're together for, to enhance and help each other, right? Nowadays, it's too much battle of the sexes, and I want to prove I'm just as good as you because I'm a woman and I can do this, or you know what I'm saying, or well, I don't want no woman telling me nothing, or it's too much of that, instead of coming together and embracing your role in your relationship. A lot of people really, they sit there and say they confident and they living their best life and they doing this and they doing that, but they really not that. You know what I'm saying? They're really not. That's lip service. You know what I'm saying? That's frosting. That's icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really are comfortable with it, then you don't mind taking advice from somebody who may have experience in a certain area that you don't.
Right. I mean, you should never have to tell somebody who you are. They should be able to gauge that in your actions. If you're a person that keeps your word, you'll know it because they kept their word. And another thing that I have an issue with is mates that are afraid to meet your family members, because your family members, they love you,
Right.
I question any guy that would be afraid to meet my family, the men in my family, or any woman that's afraid to meet, that my brothers are dating. My brother had a girlfriend and she was so afraid to meet us. And I was like, that's not your person. Because what is she afraid of? That we're going to see right through all her Maybelline and know that stuff's not right. So that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, perhaps.
Because your family's going to tell you the truth,
Yeah. Well, sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, but you have family members that like this person they have your best interest. They're not just telling you something, to make you feel bad. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. And when they meet people, they know, okay.
Right.
First, it's your choice. I always say it's your choice, but, I don't think she's right.
Right. And so my thing is, what would be the ultimate deal breaker as far as something that is beyond repair in a relationship? What is an example of some of them things?
Something that's blatant and repetitive. So if I've shared with you that I'm going to you've shared with me something that you did that I didn't particularly care for, and it's something we've discussed before, and you know exactly how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you do it, I know that I don't like it. And when you repeatedly do it, then that means that you really could care less about how it makes me feel, because it's only an issue if it's a big something. Small stuff, you can sweat. The small stuff is not even worth the time or the sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you were talking about arguing about something. It's just tone. Tone creates that. Right. It's not what you say, it's how you deliver the first word that will put the person either on defense or will allow them to let your words penetrate. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. You shut down right there. And they're already processing the next word they're going to come get you with. Right? So let's say you cheated on me with my good friend. It hurts me. I don't want that to happen. I think two things. You either feel intimidated by the fact that I'm the strong woman that I am, or you need to show somebody who's kicking it with me that you all that in a bag of chips by going over there. And she's not a friend because she wants to see what I'm getting. So we already got a mixed bag right there.
Right.
So I've given you a pass. I said, okay, babe. Okay. I'm going to let this one slide. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to let her go.
Man, you got a good heart.
Well, hey, it's the only thing I can control. I can't stop it. I can't
That's
stop
true.
her.
This
It's
is
just how
true.
I feel about it.
This
So
is
I
true.
told you, you know how I feel about it, and you repeatedly do it with friends, other friends, then that tells me that you're not my guy, because you're our guy. And what they say?
He's our man.
Black history.
Yeah, that's what I say. I make them Black history.
Yeah, bye.
We'll have a ceremony.
Yeah. You can't come back from that, right?
Yeah,
I
we have
mean,
a ceremony.
yeah,
You are
yeah,
officially
it's
dead.
oh, what you talking about? I don't know.
No,
So-
my big thing is
Mhm.
bringing your old baggage from your last relationship into our new relationship
Yes.
and insecurities.
Yeah.
Because I'm a pretty,
Yes.
you know, when you're dealing with someone who's direct and can communicate their needs and they're being honest with you, and you have an insecurity that you haven't worked on, and I'm more than willing to like help you out. But when it gets to a point where I'm maybe being accused of something, or you're really just insecure about a situation, and I know I haven't done anything, I gotta let you go, because that's some healing that I won't even work with you on, because you came here with your old baggage from this person and that person, and it shows me you didn't take time to heal and deal with it, because everybody, no one's perfect, so everybody contributes to the demise of a relationship. And the first thing is to be honest, because if you have a couple that was going good and then all of a sudden things fell off, you're like, well, what's different? What changed? There was a change somewhere.
Right.
You may have changed the way you behave, which caused that person to change the way that they behave. So at some point you have to have good communication, but old baggage and insecurities, those are my deal breakers. I got to let you go. Go on and deal with that bag. And if you
And
get
see
it
what you
together
said.
and I'm free, then we can reconnect. Otherwise, go ahead, bagman. We can't.
Because what you said is real, right? And this is something me and my little brother always say, right?
Yeah.
A lot of women, and I'm not trying to, we not bashing or nothing, but this is from experience. A lot of women have gone through a bunch of, let's just say, unsavory or unworthy men. And that's not a knock on y'all. It's a knock on your judgment at that time. But it's not a knock on y'all, and it's actually a compliment, because a lot of times we feel as though you're worth more than the niggas y'all done entertained. You feel what I'm saying? And so when we see that, right, we kind of recoil a little bit, like, damn, you used to fuck with dude, like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And that's not really like, bashing you. It's like, damn, I thought of you as bigger than that, right?
Right.
And in that instance that you did fuck with these unsavory cats or whatever, why do I have to be punished for your bad decisions? So now me and you can't have a solid relationship, because every time I say something or I do something that you don't like, you revert back to how you was acting with the last nigga who treated you fucked up, right? You know what I'm saying? When I'm really genuine with my shit is genuine. I really am concerned. I really care. I really want to build something. I really want to protect you. I really want to provide. You know what I'm saying? But therefore, you can't accept that as a woman because of the bad choices you made. So it's damaging you from finding a real man that is really your mate, that is really your equal, that is really supposed to be with you, because you done made so many fucked up decisions in life. You think we all like that. You know what I'm saying? So you walk into a relationship talking about you cleaned your house and you ain't no skeletons and your plate is clean and everything, but you punishing a good man for your bad decisions on picking fucked up dudes.
Right. And a lot of people, like attracts like. So you're going to attract what you are in some way, shape, or form. And until you grow as a person and acknowledge your shortcomings and realize, well, I need to build in this area, you're going to keep attracting the same person in a different outfit. Same scenario, same disrespect. It's just different way, different style of dress, but it's the same dude, same woman, until you level up and say, you know what, I deserve better. And a lot of people don't value themselves or their time, because you can get money back, you can get material things, all that stuff, but your time and your mental health, that's constantly being compromised by somebody that's not good for you. But until you feel that you deserve better, you're going to choose the bottom of the barrel in a different outfit every single time. So I always encourage people, get yourself right before you start trying to, you know, link up with somebody. If you just want to like hook up with somebody on some like sneaky link stuff, whatever, that's your business. But don't try to make a relationship out of something that's trash from the beginning. And a lot of women, and I say this as a woman, they'll meet a guy that'll tell them, I don't want a relationship. That's not what I'm looking for. And then spend this time with him knowing this is what he said. He did not want a relationship, but he likes spending time with you, but he's not at a place where he wants to commit, or maybe you're not the person he wants to commit to.
Right.
And then they get mad when they don't get the commitment. It's like, well, you're the goofball who stuck around and hung out when he already said, you know, that's not what I want. And some guys will do the same thing. Keep pursuing a woman that's already said, you know, I like you, but not like that. And, you know, people have to set their boundaries and get to know themselves so they can make better choices with the people they date.
My take on that part right there is that it's the old school training, because it's like, okay, you said you don't like me, but I'm going to do all these wonderful things. And once you see that I'm able to do all these things, you're going to like me. You're going to love me. You're going to change your mind. And that's what they hinge on. That's what men and women hinge on. I'm going to show her something different. You're the same denominator in all those relationships. So at the end of it, you walk away with you. You have to work on you, because if you can't recognize the real love that someone's providing you, that tells me that you don't know what love looks like, or you don't know the love you need.
Right.
And when someone wants you, you're the first to know. That's my thing. There's no confusion. Anytime you're dealing with someone and there's confusion, that's not your situation. You know, because both people have communicated that. So there's a lot of clown stuff going on.
It is, you know.
And I'm going to make you love me.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck.
How many times did that happen?
Yeah.
Never.
I was going to say most men are not going to go out and say something that's not going to work to their advantage. So if they're telling you up front that they don't want to be in a relationship, it's probably because they've experienced a situation where it was a booty call or whatever it might be, and they're not wanting a relationship. They're just getting something else out of the situation, and they're clearly saying it without saying the words. But women ain't listening to that, and then they get their feelings hurt. And they probably get women over the time. And so now they're saying up front, so like, look, I've hurt other people. I'm not trying to hurt you, but this is my situation. So, but again, like Teresa's saying, the women think, well, I can change them, or I can change their mind about it. You know what I mean? So,
because we're all magicians. Oh, I can change you.
That's like, another song.
Well, you know what though, Angie? You know, Angie, you can change a person who wants to change.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
you don't go in like, if he's already expressed like, hey, this is not what I want, you can't just try to do the most and then think that, oh, he's like, you know what, on second thought, you are like, nah, you gotta know. And it takes time. And people want to get into these old microwave relationships. No, you gotta put in some time and honestly get to know the person. And
that's where a lot of people
know themselves.
And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to commit in the first 2 weeks of really dating. Like, sometimes it might take over a year before you even really find out if this is who you really want to be with.
Right.
You know, because let's just be real. We all on our best behavior when we go out and shit. You know, we say we hooking up and we dating, we going out every week or whatever, right? We on our best behavior. We texted, we done texted and talked and shit and built up this yearning for each other, and we finally see each other after a week or so, and you know, we probably go eat or go to a room or whatever and do what we do, right? But that yearning has built up, right? But how are we gonna cohabitate on a day-to-day basis?
Right.
How we gonna live? You know, how you gonna accept me coming home grumpy as hell because I had a bad day at work and I don't want to talk for the first 30, 40 minutes when I get home.
But you got to know your partner. Like, does this person need like an hour to decompress, first before I hit him with blah, 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 this is my day, this is my day. He might just need that 30, 45 minutes just to like kick a wall or something, you know?
Or
You know, yeah.
Hey, just give me a moment and you not take it personal.
Exactly. And you don't want to
There
take
you
it
go.
personal if you know that this is your mate, this is what they do. It's no disrespect to you, but just adjusting to their personality, not adjusting, accepting who they are. And that's the thing. We always try to mold somebody into our ideal because we got social media and everything else, you know, telling us what the perfect relationship is.
Right,
No, it's
right.
not. Have these
And that,
relationships. I see, I'm like, I wouldn't want anything like that. Like,
and
but
you know, it is cold, right, y'all, because motherfuckers that use celebrities and print words over a celebrity picture, right, to describe to you what a relationship should really be. And it ain't even coming out the words out the mouths of the celebrities who's on the picture, right? This is somebody sitting at home with too much time in their hands and said, you know what? Let me get Jay-Z and Beyonce picture and put, yeah, because teamwork makes the dream work. You know, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people, but the fucked up part is a lot of people actually buy into that shit.
because they have nothing better to do.
They actually do.
Yeah. And it's beyond social media. I mean, even before it, when people would see Will and Jada, like, oh, they're the dream couple. You don't know them. They might hate each other, you know?
And what did we find out about them?
Well, I mean, I just,
hate
from
each
that
other
red
now.
table talk, I thought that was pretty embarrassing and disrespectful. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring my husband to be like, oh, yeah, we had an entanglement. No, you cheated and he's damn near near tears. This is hurt. He's in pain. It was painful to watch. I watched it, but it was like, wow, I would not want to be them.
Right.
But hell, they can like be miserable with their problems on some like beautiful resort in private resort in San Tropez while you're sitting up tripping off of your dude in like a Dairy Queen, wondering how you gonna fix your life. So
exactly. And then, you know, on top of that, a lot of these celebrity relationships, they're just celebrity relationships. They're for media purposes, really.
Exactly.
A lot of times, them people probably don't even see each other. You know, at the award shows they do. You know, they're standing on the red carpet together and whatnot.
Yeah, but they just had a whole fight in the car before they pulled up.
Exactly.
Really?
And see, that's where it comes into getting in tune with who you are and what you're going to generate as far as a mate. You know what I'm saying? Like men and women both, right? I'm a firm believer of you don't jump out of one relationship directly into another. Now, I mean, let's just be honest. Most other relationships start before the primary relationship is over. It's just the other person didn't know.
Yeah,
you know what
emotional affairs. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, okay, the secondary relationship, like say I'm with somebody for 2 years, right? And then we break up, and then you see me the next month with another woman. Most likely I was dealing with that woman at least a few months into the tail end of my last relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just looks like, oh damn, he just jumping from woman to woman, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, right.
I'm appreciating all this good information. I'm just storing.
Yes. You're not getting no relationship.
Okay. Well,
Carvel and Beach, what do you guys got to say? You're so quiet. We want to hear your relationship
y'all can hear me. My vocal cords are shot right now.
Yeah, Meech's voice is messed up. He can't really say much.
My vocal cords are shot. I can't talk, but I can nod my head.
Yelling at them women.
Hard to hear me.
You heard what she said?
Now I was watching the Warriors basketball.
Oh, okay. Good reason.
Okay.
Good reason.
But yeah, you know, it's just
but I am listening to it from a male's perspective, and y'all got some good topics because I always listen to a woman's perspective anyway, and to hear it from y'all coming that way, I just use it as from a male's way. You know, we look at it differently, but in a similar sense.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing what y'all saying, but I'm reversing it from being a male and listening to it that way.
So if we go dating, we're gonna like have you guys on this and be like, look, y'all need to see him. See what he is, check him out. Does he check out?
Hey, I ain't got a problem with it. I ain't got a problem with it, but I'm just saying, you know, but That's, but we need to really, for real, and this is for everybody that's listening as well as the panel, right? We need to really
I
like
need some lemons.
dig deep into ourselves and heal ourselves before stepping off into a relationship with other people and damaging and wrecking their lives with our bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that goes for everybody. We all got some type of bullshit with us that we done been through, right? But you gotta really like, you gotta be clear of that, so where you ain't dragging. Because that's one thing I've never done, though, because I was always smart enough and I was taught by my mama. Like Tupac said, we get our name and our game from a woman. This is true. A man, your daddy, your uncles and cousins, they gonna tell you what worked for them and the little scallywags they was running around with, right? But that ain't gonna work for women as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I listen
your
to
mama,
mother.
your mama, big sister, aunties and shit, they gonna give a man some real game on women as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so
I
always knew that women were more complex, even more complex than men. You can't say, like, okay, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any of you ladies, but I'm gonna say what niggas say in the hood. All bitches ain't shit, and all these bitches. That's not true. That is not true. That is the furthest thing from the truth, to tell the truth. Huh?
Duh.
What?
They say all niggas ain't shit and all niggas is the same.
Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna be real
Those
with
two
you.
are dating each other. That's why.
No, but I'm gonna be real with you, right? Men are more. It's more men that are similar than women are similar.
Yeah, buddy.
You know,
I don't think men are as complex as we
they're
like
not.
to think
Not
that
at
they
all.
are, and that's the biggest thing. It's the way men.
And nobody's the same.
Yeah,
nobody's
but
the
men
same, so-
communicate the way that men communicate. It's pretty direct, you know.
Right.
And if you talk to him,
Kinda.
you'll understand where he's coming from. But and a lot of times, we're like, well, what are you thinking? He's like, nothing. And then, oh my God, he's thinking about this. You've added a whole scenario that wasn't even the case, from
Right.
based on your own history, insecurities, as opposed to just, all right, he's thinking about nothing. I mean,
Right.
it's okay for that guy to have a little peace where he doesn't have a bazillion thoughts running through his head. Or maybe he might be thinking of something that he hasn't processed and doesn't want to put on your shoulder at that time, you know? Because at the end of the day, if the guy loves you, he's not going to want to stress you out, especially if he hasn't worked out his stuff. But it's a matter of knowing that as a relationship, you're supposed to be there for each other through like the hard stuff, and it's okay to lean on each other. But some people,
Right.
you know, they don't have that in their mind.
Yeah, because
They don't have an idea what makes a relationship work.
Being unselfish, for one, that's kind of like the first thing you got to do.
That's true,
You know,
yeah.
and like
Yeah.
Teresa said earlier, right?
Gotta be
You got
unselfish.
to understand, if certain things. Okay, this is my thing. If certain things hurt or affect your mate in a negative fashion, and it's of no benefit to you, why continue to do it if you love that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand if you're like, well, look, babe,
Man,
this is how I get
no
my
better.
money. This how I eat. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't like it, but right now, this is the situation I'm stuck with. This is the hand that I was dealt. I got to deal with this because I got these bills. I got, you know, I'm in debt, whatever, and I got to do certain things. This is how I survive. That's different, right? But if like, say, if your woman tell you, well, I feel as though this woman or that woman, you know, from a woman's point of view, I think she's trying to be slick or trying to put a move down on you or something like that. I need you to, you know, back that up, right? And you just take that as like, don't even take that into consideration, and you just like, it's oblivious to you. And then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, this shit erupts into something where the woman steps out of line, and then your woman feels disrespected and all that. Now you got this big ass heavy problem on your hands because, like I said, if the situation is not of a benefit to you and it's uncomfortable for your mate, you have to consider altering that situation.
Right.
You have to. I mean, if you want a successful relationship, you know, it's like, and like I said, and I think more women have it bad than men do, because women always want to try to prove that they can't be controlled. It's not about being controlled. It's about being safe. It's about being cautious. It's about being respectful. You know what I'm saying? And women nowadays think being respectful is a sign of weakness.
Well, I mean, and again, that's dealing with a sense of self and knowing if a woman feels like she has to be like extra strong and aggressive, that's because that person that she's with isn't bringing out her divine feminine. It's a natural, it's like a light switch. When you're with the person, when you feel settled, you don't feel like you got to like square up all the time and stomp your feet. I'm strong, independent. You never have to say all those things because that person knows that. You don't have to announce who you are, you know,
Right.
but certain things, we're naturally nurturing people, you know, we come from that. But if you're with somebody and you don't have that soft and fluffy feeling that you would naturally have, that's not your person.
But Angie,
You're
do
going
you
to be
think?
aggressive with him.
But do you think sometimes a woman could act that way, not because of the guy she's with, but of the guys that she's had in her past?
Or her life, because all of us are a sum of our experiences. And there are things that sets the pattern for how you handle life, period. And I'll give you an example. When I was 4 years old, which is really young, I had seen my parents fight, and it was really, really traumatic. And from that, I said, I would never need a man for a roof over my head, money in my pocket, food in my mouth, or clothes on my back. And I rode that until the wheels fell off. There was no man that was going to get past that force field. Even if he was the right man for me, I wasn't the right woman for him or for no one in that kind of way. But as soon as I forgave myself, forgave the situation, because at 4, I had no idea what triggered that and why it was so volatile. It affected me in a way that my only 4-year-old mind could understand. And so as you go through life, you experience certain things, you know, you hear things, you learn things, and you say, oh, you know what? This I don't need to carry. But some things are innate. All it needs is takes one thing and it triggers, even if you don't even want it to happen. It happens. And it has nothing to do with the other person. It's a self thing. And when you can say, hey, I'm cool because I'm controlling this. All this external stuff, you can go ahead and take the credit for that because that ain't got nothing to do with right here.
Right.
You know, so I'm going to shut you down. But then again, you can also pause and say, does it really mean that much to me to go there?
There you go.
I ain't got to do all that. And this is something that I've learned. Like I said before, I'm 60. And so if you would have asked me this 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I'd look at you sideways. But one thing that came to fruition for me is my mother would say to me, Risa, keep on living. I thought she was threatening me. I said, I'm glad I got things to do, right? And little did I know, she was saying, you too, as you mature and grow, you gonna understand.
Right.
And every turn I take, I was like, that's mine, that's his, that's theirs, this, okay, whew. You know, I decide what's gonna ride on my shoulders. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. So, you know, I have all kind of ways of looking at things, and I like to run my mouth. I'm a communicator. I feel, I think. You? Okay. We're clear, right? Okay, no problem.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
But you got to be honest.
You
got to be honest.
Is true. This is true.
Real talk. You know, if you're trying to blow smoke up my ass, just tell me what your plan is. What you need, where we going with this.
What do you want?
Let me decide if this gonna work. It could work.
Right.
You don't have to do all that.
Let's just be clear, and I can just agree to agree or disagree, or whatever.
Right. That's important. Lay it on the line. Whatever it is. If you want to be monogamous or something, that's how I feel. If you want to play the field, or you got different guys or girls or whatever, let that person know, because I might not want to have unsafe sex with you, or I might not want to have sex with you at all. You know what I'm saying? Give me that option.
Yeah, that's valid. That's very valid.
So valid.
Because that one moment could be the end of your life, and it wasn't even worth that.
That's
yours for life.
That's that. What is that? 5 good minute, good ones. So what do you call it?
High five. There we go. High five.
I got people asking me to break down the definition. What exactly is a high five?
Look, let's cancel that one.
Yeah.
You made it up. You made up that slogan.
Like,
High five.
yeah, yeah. Ooh, I don't want the fire. I'm good. Go ahead.
No.
Namaste.
Hey, but yeah, you know, but that's yeah, and so y'all hit the nail on the head with that. The transparency is everything.
Yeah.
If you let me know what it is, then I can make up my educated decision honestly based on what you really are doing and what you're really feeling. Then I can say, you know what? I guess I could deal with that, or you know what? That's some shit I don't want a part of. But give me that option.
Yeah.
Right.
If you lying to me, you take that option away from me.
But also, too, when they give you that option, you have to allow yourself and them to be able to tell it to you as it is, and then you be able to ask questions to make sure you understand what they're telling you, so you can be on the same page.
Right.
Because otherwise, things get lost in translation.
Right.
Yeah,
Always.
they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah, but people have to be honest with
Yeah.
themselves first, and
That's
most people.
that's the key. That's off the top.
Most people are lying to themselves
all day, every day. It's like, yep.
So yeah, so I mean, you know, I mean, all of that's valid, man. I agree with y'all. I didn't hear nothing that I actually disagreed with. You know,
I'm actually not confused today. So
sorry.
I can't speak well, but I got these ears. I hear good. So
we watched the recap. He's like, I'm so confused.
I didn't. I wasn't clear because I was like,
Angie, that was you in that hot five bullshit.
That's gonna be branded. I'm gonna get a tattoo. Hot five. I'm gonna bulk up.
No, I'm putting that. Hey, Angie, I'm putting that shit on T-shirts. Hot five. It's gonna be the flame emoji with a 5 in the middle.
I don't want to be known.
That was awesome, though. That was so cool.
Hot mess. People know way too much about me, but that's all right.
But we coming towards the
I'm
end
not
of the
ashamed
show.
of my life.
But it's straight to the point.
Right.
So it's like,
I have no shame.
You've been told,
Nikki, you got something you want to add?
What'd you say?
No,
I said, does Nikki have something you want to add? We coming to the end, close to.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed this. Because I was like, I got me some friends now.
I think really it's the maturity in the relationship. And you do have to be mature in order to be able to put your vulnerabilities out there and be honest in order for things to work. If you have insecurities and so there's things that not said that should have been said, you're not working with everything laid out, you know what I mean? So that you're always, not addressing the issue because you're not being transparent and because of insecurities or maturity or whatever it might be. So I think that's also important too, to have communication. And I do really like when people have clear communication, because then that you can work with that. So
that's very, very important. The transparency and everything is important, I mean, we can say it until we're blue in the face, but those are the keys to a successful relationship if you're gonna have one, and like we were saying earlier, once it's damaged, and like Teresa said, if this is some shit that you knew was gonna fuck up the situation and you done did this shit, you're a repeat offender, you ain't for me.
It's intentional. It's intentional.
Yeah, you ain't for me. You disregarding my feelings. You saying fuck how I feel. You just gonna do what you want to do recklessly and all that other type of shit. That's not healthy for a relationship at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and a lot of people think that, a lot of people think that, and like I said, I'm gonna drill this home, right? Because there's people out there that's listening that need to hear this shit. It ain't about no fucking control if a person really got your best interests at heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to stop thinking about, we got to be, can't nobody control me. And I ain't listening to what no bitch saying, fuck what this nigga talking about now. We got to stop that shit if you love that person. If you're going to commit to a relationship with that person, then it ain't about no control. It's about compromise, not control. It's about compromise. Okay, babe, you feel this way? Explain to me why I feel this way so I can explain to you what's going on to put you at ease with this shit. Then at the end of the conversation, if she's still uncomfortable with it, you gotta weigh the option. Is this worth the woman that I love or what? Just to prove that you could do some shit? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of ridiculous, you know? And men and women both do that. You want to do shit just to prove that you're not going to do what somebody else is telling. That's juvenile as fuck. We are older people. We are older, you know, in our golden years right here, right? We all know that's dumb. Anybody over 30 years old still living like that, you're a fucking idiot.
Nikki's point of being vulnerable is key because a lot of people aren't willing to be vulnerable with their feelings, and that involves trusting, you know?
Right.
You got to trust yourself. And my thing is, if I know me, that's what matters. You know, I trust me. And if I think like I want to be with this person, they're good. And then they prove me wrong by, you know, acting out of have bad character or bad ways, then I should trust myself to know like, okay, this isn't my person. Let me leave this person alone and take some time for myself before I put myself out there to meet somebody else. But there's a lot of people, again, just jumping in relationships and they're not ready. They need to have a relationship with themselves first and know what they want.
Yeah, that's so true.
Well, yes. Well, this has been another fabulous podcast of Treeal Talk 101.
Amazing.
And we thank you, ladies. It was great vernacular, great speech, great insight and everything. And, you know, we want to thank you for gracing us with your, not only your beauty, but your knowledge as well.
Thank you.
Yes,
You're welcome.
We appreciate that.
Yes. Namaste.
Yes.
All right. Fellas, y'all got something to say, man?
Please.
I wish I could talk more, but my voice is tore up. I need some lemons and some hogs, and I'll be all right. I can say go Warriors.
And a shot of Hennessy. Hey, don't forget the shot of Hennessy, man. You need the shot of Hennessy.
Don't mention booze. Me and Dickie went out last night.
I'll be all right tomorrow.
Get you a cup of hot water with lemon and honey. Get you a cup of hot water with lemon and honey. It'll soothe your throat. You'll be okay.
Cinnamon too. A pinch of cinnamon.
You'll be okay.
Ah, yeah.
Cinnamon.
Mix the honey and cinnamon and then add like the lemon in the water.
Yep. It'll be yummy.
Y'all keep forgetting the cognac though. Gotta put the cognac in there.
No. Me and Dickie had drinks last night, just one.
Some Jameson in there.
They overpoured.
All right. So we about to wrap this one up. Like you said, we want to thank Angie, Teresa, and Nikki. We're signing off, y'all. This is OG Double Dee.
Mack Meech.
Mack Meech, Davis Boys Entertainment.
It is Trap Houseville, man. Boss hitter.
Sorry about the vocals.
Okay. And we'll be back at y'all next Sunday.
9 o'clock.
p.m. Thank you, ladies. Y'all have a
good
one.
Thank y'all, ladies, for showing up.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye.
All right. I guess we leave.